Assalamu alaikum guys, what is up? This is Saran, aka We All Blessed. And for today, man, I'm here with all my brothers, mashallah, brother Shanur, brother Albert, brother Nafil, and mashallah, our guest for now, brother Abdul Rahim. Brother Abdul Rahim and brother Albert, mashallah, they decided to, do a video with us. And today, man, brother Albert and brother Abdul Rahim, let the brothers know what we're going to be talking about.
Today, we are going to be talking about why Muslims shouldn't be dating. We're going to talk about the consequences. We're going to talk about the exact reasons Islamically and practically why it should not be allowed, and it's just a reality, and we're going to talk about that today as young Muslims in the West and how we have been.
And we have brother Abdul Rahim. Brother Abdul Rahim, tell the brothers, let's shed some light on the dating and Muslim, why Muslims shouldn't date and everything. Inshallah, let us know.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows what's best for us. So He knows all the consequences and what's not good for us and what's gonna happen in the future. So if we just don't do what He stated not to do, then I think that's probably the best.
Exactly. And growing up here in this society, right, Shanur? Growing up here and all of the culture over here, how dating is encouraged. We're taught at a young age that you're not normal. You're dating, dude, you don't date. Come on, man, go on there. We're taught this. So what's your take on all of this? How a Muslim should navigate through,
Bro, I think that we shouldn't follow the majority of people nowadays.
Yeah.
Because of social media is making young kids crazy nowadays, right? And they're doing crazy stuff. And eventually it starts off with dating, and then it's gonna lead to another date and another date, messaging on social media, and eventually, may Allah forgive us and protect us, but zina as well, right? So to avoid all of that, I feel like we as Muslims should put our religion first and abide by the laws of Islam.
Yeah, exactly. Brother Albert.
I got one thing to say here. When you look at it from an Islamic perspective, the exact ruling of why dating is not allowed. Why is it not allowed? The reason is because if you look at the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the hadith shows that when two non-mahrams are together, so a man and a woman who are together and they are not related in any blood relation, any marriage of any way, then the third is shaitan. Exactly. So when you're in high school or when you're in college or whatever it is, and you got people, guys and girls, non-mahrams hanging out together, and you think you're all together, you think you're safe, the third is shaitan. You're definitely not shielded. And listen, if the foundations, people say this, here's what I hear a lot. We're being friends, and it's an opportunity to make friends and cause relationships, and it's a good thing. Well, the reality is that the foundation of your friendship is based on shaitan's manipulation. So how do you expect your relationship to be in the way of Allah when you don't start it that way? If you like a girl, if you like a guy, then what you need to do is take the Islamic route. Go through the wali. If you are a guy and you are interested in a girl, if you have a sister, if you have a female cousin, you take that female cousin, you talk to them, you talk to your mother, you talk to her mother, something, and get it done. 100%. And you got to be a man and maybe 100%. Talk to her father. Yeah. It's tough in this society because a lot of people don't really like following this. But we got to be tough it out. Talk to your own parents. Many cultures, they do it through parents. There's so many ways to go, but dating is just totally wrong. If it easily can change your life. In terms of, first off, it goes with dating. Oh, I'm not going to hold a hand, but then you do because you think you're in love.
Man, it's the steps,
It's the steps.
It's the steps of shaitan. And Shanur, these steps, obviously social media has a role to do with these steps. What do you think social media does? Does it exploit, does it make it worse? And how do you think as Muslims, they should navigate this through, these relationships and social media? Just talk about that, man.
I think it's best to for example, on Instagram, there's a lot of girls, maybe not follow a lot of them, or this goes for myself too, and just stay away from if you have you're young, so you have the raging hormones and stuff, so maybe it's best to stay away from that and wait till you're older and you get married, obviously, and to
Inshallah.
go the halal way.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
And Brother Abdul Rahim, like just as Shanur said, you want to elaborate, touch anything, inshallah, in particular, what he said about social media, like how it's a temptation, on Instagram, like he talked about. It's hard, right? Like at times, there's so many people, like girls especially, right? So you want to elaborate anything, inshallah?
Yeah, especially with social media is that, okay, so if you see someone walking in person, obviously it's haram, but like it'll take a lot more courage and whatnot to go talk to them. So that'll probably stop you from doing that, right? But on social media, you can just follow them or message them and whatever, start talking, and then that turns into like meeting up, and then that turns into other things. So with social media, it's just become like so much easier, and then I think this is like obviously shaitan, right? The social media age, and that's why it's like so easy nowadays to do haram, when haram will become easy and halal will become hard, like the Prophet Muhammad said. Yeah.
Yeah, very true, bro. And like our thing is like, as you may ask, you may be thinking like, who the hell are we to talk about this? The thing is that we, alhamdulillah, from the grace of Allah, we went through the high school system. We grew up here. We know we're obviously Canadians, mashallah. But first of all, we're Muslims, but we also grew up here on the land. We know the culture. We understand the language and everything, right, Naufal? And Naufal, what do you think? It's the young people, obviously, like Reeb and Brother Abdurrahim talked about raging hormones, right? But what do you think what's the alternative? What's the cure? What's the thing they should distract themselves with,
Bro, like before I answer that, I feel like for the guys out there, like think about this. When you're going up to a girl, think about she's someone's sister. She's gonna be someone's wife. She's someone's daughter.
Yeah.
Right? Her parents have raised her with love. And you're just gonna go right there and not intend to and you're gonna go break her heart like that, bro? Because that's not what a man does, man.
Exactly.
Yeah?
And that's very common, Like we know stories from high school. A lot of girls, they come in very, very nice. They're coming from their families raised well, and they're so innocent. But what happens is these guys they get them on. Hey, you look good in that. You look good in those jeans. You look good in all of that. So what happens with these girls? They're innocent, right? But then again, you have the control to wear whatever you want. So they decide to wear these things to get noticed more. It's more clout. More people get to know them. They get more popularity. And what happens is what then after that, right? They're disobeying Allah. They're disobeying their, even their parents. They're neglectful. They're staying home late. They're staying outside late, and all of that is going on. And the cure for this, I'll tell you right now, man, it's finding also something alternative. As a young man. Pick something like working out, something like playing basketball, playing cricket, something to distract you. Because at times you're young, you have a lot of this energy, right? You don't know what to do with this energy. So spend this energy in doing something productive rather than destructive. And I'm telling you, wallahi, when a year's pass by, you work out, you hit the gym, you'll see your physique and you will be proud of you have done things to be productive rather than just chilling, going out late, doing something productive, right? Abdurrahim, anything to talk about the productive Abdurrahim and then Brother Albert?
Yeah, like if you involve yourself in something productive, it doesn't necessarily have to be Islamic. Like working out or sports doesn't have to be Islamic, but if you involve yourself in that, then you now some of your time is devoted towards that. So that takes some time out from that could be potentially towards be doing a haram. So if you do that, then it's very good, because then you're gonna look back and you're gonna see that I did this, or if you start a business or whatever, I made some money or whatever, and you're gonna be very proud of that.
Yeah.
Over the years or whatever.
And these are good things, right, man? These are mashallah very good things, right, Shanur? And concluding, Brother Albert, you wanna conclude with all of that what we said, and spin up your take, inshallah.
Let me take it from the scientific perspective. If you don't believe or are convinced with the religious talk that we're talking, the prefrontal cortex, the front area of the brain that controls the emotional area in which people think and make actions and take decisions, does not fully develop until about the age of 22 or 23. So if you are a young teenager, about 13 or 14, and you seem to think that you are in love, or you have raging hormones and you like a girl, or a girl likes guys, and you want to express that by dating freely, then the reality is that that part of your brain will influence your decisions, and you need to understand that this is a test from Allah. At a young age, you need to be able to control your emotions.
Exactly.
Now, there are some Muslims out there that want a girl, or a girl wants a guy, and they're young and they don't know what to do. And the reality is that you probably wouldn't be ready for marriage anyways. You're too young. then the best thing is that if you're not in the circumstances for marriage, it's best that you wait. And it's a test from Allah, and it's patience and sabr, and Allah will reward you later.
Yeah.
And the reality is your emotions aren't ready to go, and you won't be able to make decisions correctly. And even if you are in college or university or whatever it is, and you are a young man or a woman, you better be careful not to get into dating, because it leads to other things. It leads to holding hands, then hugging, kissing, then you know what's next, buddy. So the reality is that you should start from doing halal and always abstain. And even in the Quran, Allah says, don't stay away from zina. Don't even come near it. So it says, don't even be about to do it. Just don't even go near it. Don't even try. It's that big, because you better be careful, because if you go into the deep hole and start dating, you might not understand and realize what you've done until it's too late.
Inshallah. And yo, like Brother Shanur, as Brother Shanur, you know, like I just want to ask you this, that, you know, what as young people, what can the young guys and girls do at this young high school age where, you know, the hormones are raging, to distract themselves, you know? What do you want to, like, as you growing up in high school, you can let them know how to go about things.
Yeah, you know, as an alternative, there's always a lot of stuff you can do out there, you know. You can play sports, go work out as I did myself, and you go make these videos, you know, with your friends, and like go out to like these places with lakes, look at the scenery, you know, there's a lot of beauty out there. And yeah, there's always stuff you can do, and then later, like when the time is obviously right, you can get married. But it's best to stay away from this for now, and as it leads to a lot of problems.
And Brother Abdurrahim, just to elaborate on that point, do you think the young people, what should they do? How do they build these interests, and how can they get motivated to do these things?
You know,
Because you're sitting on your phone, they're tired, they're bored, time just flies by. What do you think they should do to get up and, you know, stop looking at these things on Instagram and just get up and, you know, be productive?
you should try to find your passion, because I believe everyone has a passion, whether it's sports, whether it's, I don't know, making money or whatever. Anything, just find your passion and start doing that. Start investing time into that. Who knows, down the road it might even like become something major, a major part of your life. And when it is, you won't regret it. You won't regret it, instead of doing, you know, all these haram things,
Exactly.
falling into these things or whatever. And yeah.
Exactly, subhanAllah. And Brother Nawfal, just to conclude, yeah, anything that you wanted to offer advice to the youngins, you know, that are going through all of this change in life, you know, having this attraction for that opposite gender and feeling bad sometimes that I don't have a partner. Oh man, my life sucks. Oh man, I'm not good looking. What do you think? Lift these guys up, man. Say some words of encouragement. We need it.
Guys, just know why you're doing this. You're doing this for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you know Allah will reward you for your efforts with Jannatul Firdaus. Ameen.
Ameen. Ya Rabbi.
You know? So that's the biggest motivator there is, right? Jannat. So guys, that's what motivates me, and that should motivate you too.
And that's the home that helps the burden. It helps to remove the burden, because at the end of the day, you remember that this life is only a test. I'm going through these hard times right now. I may be going through this right now. They may be making fun of me right now, but I know, inshallah, in the future, it will be, when it's all said and done, inshallah, my head will be high, you know?
Just one more thing I want to add is that the thing is that if you do have these feelings, you're probably old enough for marriage. So like if you're in high school, just bear through the 4 years, and then inshallah when you get into university and whatnot, you know, most people get married at university anyway. So just bear through the years in high school, and then inshallah in university you'll find someone good and you can marry them. So yeah.
Inshallah. And guys, remember, man, you blessed, I blessed, and we all blessed. Like and subscribe, man. Inshallah. Take care, man. Brother Albert right there.